Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your August 2024 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. It gets this channel seen by more people. It gets it seen by the YouTube algorithm. So, thank you so very much for doing so. So, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay. So we are crowned here with the King of Pentacles reversed. Now, this is Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So if you have Earth sign energy in your chart, if you have strong Earth sign energy in your life, you can find that you're kind of coming at odds with this. You can also sit there and feel like things are being immovable during this time, like things are being stuck. You're also going to be looking at things very much financially speaking, or like money, or what you value as much as money during this time. And you're going to be looking at certain ways that you feel like there are setbacks or there are problems to be solved. This is very much a problem solving energy coming forward. I don't see this as negative so much as like, oh, I can't do this, or I can't get to where it is that I want to be going or I want to be achieving. It's more like, I haven't tried it this way. Let me see. And this is going to be a time where we feel like we're running in, like we've been running up against roadblocks. And now we're really starting to see those roadblocks fall away, but we're also starting to see things that we value in our life with so much more openness and so much more honesty. We've also been looking at our happiness and been like, kind of apologetic about it. And I don't know why exactly that is, but here with the 10 of Cups reverse, it's looking at everybody else and thinking, oh, well, they have it figured out, right? They know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And this is going to be a time also where there's a revelation that's coming your way where it's like, why hide what it is that I love, I'm proud of, I'm completely enthralled with? Let my passions and my beauty show. Like, let me shine through. And this is going to be a time, Scorpio, where we're starting to choose us. Like, we're starting to say, you know what, I understand what everybody else might say, or what I think everybody else is saying or thinking, or, how they'll respond to things. But as long as I come to my life with love and compassion, and from a place of kindness, there's nothing wrong there. So just be mindful about this. We can also be really jealous of other people or look at things and we're seeing their highlight reels, right? Especially online, we're seeing everybody's highlight reels and we're thinking, oh man, my life isn't like that. But here's the kicker, neither is there. So just being aware of that during this time, yeah, that's going to be important. The 10 of Swords is also this place where we're coming out of doubts. Like, this is emotional transformation because we've come to a completion of a cycle. And the 10 of Swords is the minor arcana death card for me, and that's Scorpio energy. So this is us in the minor arcana, and we're transforming, but we're hesitant because there's almost something here, Scorpio. It's like, but what if I step to the next level? Like, what if I step forward into this energy, into myself? What happens? What happens then? And it's like, yeah, what happens? What beautiful thing can come your way, can lead you forward, can be set free. You can set yourself free with. And this is going to be a time where, yeah, we can overthink, we can overanalyze, we can feel like, oh no, I can't do this because this person, didn't respond to me or shun me or hurt my feelings or whatever it is. And it would be legit. Like, people would say, wow, okay, that wasn't nice at all. But this is going to be a time where we have to choose ourselves once again, Scorpio, and say, you know what, I'm stepping into my power, I'm stepping into myself, and I'm not being held back. It moves us to the 3 of Wands. So this is going to be an interesting time because we can really see things kind of slowing down. We're not going to see that great, like, coming in, coming out of ideas and connections and everything like that we want. Like, we want this huge connectivity to come forward. And yet this is going to be a time where we need to see for ourselves, okay, where do I want to be? How do I need to move forward? What is it that I'm looking for? What is it that I desire for myself? And then there's going to be the sense of like, can I do this? Like, can I step into this energy? Can I step into this power? It's not about everybody else during this time that we would really like it to be. We'd really like somebody else to focus on. But this is going to be us claiming our power and claiming ourselves. It moves us to the Magician. I mean, if we have to have one upright card, which we do in this reading, right? We have one upright card. and it is the magician. It is embracing our magic. It is embracing our tenacity. It's standing before the altar of our existence, and it's really seeing ourselves. So our magic comes through quite beautifully. I love that that is the upright card. And then we have another 10. Wow, we have 3 out of the 4 tens here reverse. This is the 10 of Pentacles. This links to the King of Pentacles. When Spirit was saying before about feeling stuck financially, or with what you value as much as money, feeling like, I can't really embrace what it is that I want in my life because, I don't have that security, or I don't, like, things just aren't working out. They work out for everybody else. They don't work out for me. This is going to be a time where Spirit is going to show you the fraying of the edges of things. Okay, Scorpio. And that is something you're very good at seeing. That's something you're very good at connecting with. It can be also something that you find very overwhelming. You can see the fraying of edges of things, of people, of situations. You usually, kind of write yourself off. You usually say, oh no, that's like not true, or, I can't possibly, know this, or I'm just making up stories. What if you're not? What if you can see people and see things a little bit more intuitively than others? And what if you step into your power and step into yourself and you say, this is part of the gift that I was born with as a Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, right? But shown by the Death card in the major arcana, the great leveler, but also the great transformer. And so this is going to be a time where we're rethinking prosperity, we're rethinking happiness, we're rethinking everything that everybody's told us, or what we had thought, like, oh, I should feel this way, or I should look at things like this, or I should be like that. And what if we let ourselves stand out? Because if you found this channel, if you're here, if you're returning, welcome, welcome back. If you've just found this channel, welcome to this family. You're not like other people. And it's not to say that in a way where like, oh, you're so special, like nothing bad will ever happen. Life happens, right? But you have a different way of looking at the world and connecting with the world. That means that you can feel like, I just don't fit in. And this is a time where we're looking at the way that we're grounded, the way that we're planting ourselves. Did we try to conform too much? Did we try to say, oh, but I'm just going to be like everybody else? And then wonder why it's not working, because it's not us. This is going to be a time where we say, what are my gifts? And we start to really see them, where we start to say, this is my prosperity, this is my power, this is who I am. And we start to embrace that with tenacity and fierceness. Now let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and Spirit guides. And this is Defend, and this is the dogwood. So dogwoods are beautiful, beautiful trees. And this is Defend. And this is going to be a time for us as we're transforming, but also we're fighting this transformation. We want things to be a certain way, right? And we're afraid, what if I step fully into me? Like, what if I start realizing my dreams? Or what if I start saying yes instead of no to what my soul longs for? What if I defend my birthright, my tenacity, my brilliance, my power? What if I defend that and embrace me? And it brings us then to our chakra energy. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Oh, goodness. Angels and Spirit guides, angels. It brings us to holistic health. It brings us to realizing that we're at the completion of cycles here when it comes to our heart, when it comes to our mind, when it comes to our prosperity, our wealth, our way of entering into this world or maneuvering in this world with being successful. And here with holistic health, we are going to see ourselves transforming. We are going to see the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, the sense of connecting with your body, connecting with your soul, listening to your body, connecting with the food is medicine ideology, and really moving forward saying, I'm listening to me and I'm empowered by me. And it brings us then to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And this is the Ace of Wands, which is interesting to have an ace, which is a gift card from divinity, as a card to be mindful of. So the Ace of Wands is fire, tenacity, brilliance, shining forward. But it can also be our temper getting the best of us. It can also be us becoming frustrated, becoming overwhelmed, or somebody else's light, somebody else's passion, somebody else's fire overriding our own and us thinking, well, you really should be more like them. And that's going to be part of this month, is that we're looking at other people, other situations, and we're thinking, I really should be more like them. Or we have been thinking that for probably a good part, like the first half of this year, right? I should be more like XYZ, or I have to find the role models that I want to emulate after, or I want to be inspired by. And what if we step back? And what if we just let ourselves, yes, be inspired, but write down, just a few things that inspire us, 4 things that inspire us, and then follow that path, during this month. Nothing big. It doesn't have to be that we do anything big. We always think as human beings, oh, it has to be big. It has to be, bold. It has to be out loud. What if it's quiet? And what if it's gentle? And what if it, matches the power and the ferocity of our water soul, but the gentleness of our water soul as well? Let us plant seeds, because we're tired and we're overwhelmed. We're frustrated, we're overthinking things, we're overanalyzing things, and we can have a tendency to get too rigid. It has to be just like this, and everything has to be interconnected. It has to do this, it has to do that. What we're going to find, Scorpio, is that we do our best. We do our best in this world when we create, when we cultivate, when we color outside of the lines, when we look at the pictures and say, well, what about this? And what about that? And how about this? And how about that? And we let the creative energy move forward, because what we're going to see is we're going to turn this from being reversed to being right side up. And we're turning the King of Pentacles to saying, I'm embracing my prosperity. I'm embracing my success. I'm moving forward in the bounty that is me. And I'm not letting myself be overwhelmed by doubt and by fear. Looking at other people and saying, okay, what makes them happy? That's great. But not saying what makes them happy is more important than what makes me happy. And really starting to embrace your happiness. Even if you think, oh my gosh, that's so fuddy-duddy, I can't believe it. Like, I like doing this, or that's not cool, I should be doing that. Why? Why? When everybody's having such a fun time, such a great time that you don't see sorrow in their eyes, then listen to them. But a lot of people, they're running away from their own shadows. And here's the thing, you can never outrun your own shadow. And this is going to be a time, and this is a month for us to say, okay, this is me. This is what I love. This is what I want. This is me, period, and stop. And we're going to see that the knives, the hurts, the overkill of it all, it starts to fall away. And we can start to say, what about this? What about moving forward this way? What about that? What do I want? Where do I need to be? And we're going to see a release happening. And we're going to see us releasing a lot of doubt, a lot of negativity, a lot of anger, a lot of fear. But it's almost like, I'm not thinking about that anymore. And people be like, oh, what about this? And you should be mad about that. It's like, yeah, okay, but I don't want to be. And I'm not really here to waste my energy. My energy can be, put towards such greater things. And we can see things kind of slowing down a little bit. Now, it can be because if we're in the Northern Hemisphere, summertime, August, a lot of people take vacations and school is starting up again, and this and that. And it's like, oh my gosh, it can be a lot, right? And so people can kind of pull back. But what we're going to see here is that we're looking at things, and it's not about the way we connect with everybody else. It's about the way we take our passion and our fire and we connect with ourselves. And this is going to be a month that's kind of like housekeeping. And I know that sounds terribly boring, but it's not going to be. It's like, okay, let me roll up my sleeves. Let me get this done, because I'm jumping forward now. I'm going after what I want for me. And I'm living in such a vibrant, happy, connected way that I let myself shine and I let myself see me. So we can be waiting, for an energy or for something to come along and kind of like pull us forward. But we're going to see that it's like this, what if I can? And it's like this little thought inside of our head. It's like, what if I can? What if I got this? What if I can do this? And it's like, oh, yeah, what if? And just see where that takes you. Just see like what that unfolds, because you're going to be surprised. It's not going to be the big thing that we think it is. It's not going to be that like, oh my gosh, I can see the ships coming over the horizon and I've been waiting for this for years. It's like, what is it? Back in the day, like in the 18th century, right? Where they used to have the widows widow rails on the top of really fine houses, where women used to go and walk to see if their husbands had returned back from sea. And yeah, we can be like waiting for that type of news. But in the interim, we have a life to live, right? In the interim, we have our passion to move forward in. And that's what we're going to be seeing for ourselves. It's not going to be that big thing right now. It's going to be a bunch of little things that when we look back, we're like, oh, hot darn, like August was really hopping. Like that was a really big deal, and we're going to really think like, wow, that's a bee's knees that I did this, like that I moved forward this way, that I got this done. And that's going to be really important for us. We stand before the altar of our existence and we start to see our gifts, Scorpio, but we also start to see the frayed edges. And that is something that a Scorpio can find very unnerving and we can run away from our whole entire lives. But if we look at it and we look at the frayed edges and we see people, we don't just like look at them and say, okay, I see what I expect to see. But we really look at them. We will be surprised at what comes forward. We'll be surprised at the connections that are made, the insight that is had, the knowledge that moves us. And that's going to be a very big thing. And that is a very big thing for us. But we stand before the altar of our existence, and as above, so below. As we think it, so it becomes. And that's why this transformation of the mind, this completion of the number 10 that we are coming to an acceptance of during this month is so huge. It's such a big deal because as we stand before the altar of our existence, we start to see our creativity, right? Our fire, our passion. We start to really embrace our emotion because a lot of times as Scorpio energy and as water energy or as highly sensitive people, we can think my emotions are bad, right? My emotions get me in trouble. My emotions made me feel the world so much more and made everything so much harder, right? And now we're like, no, I let myself emotionally move forward. I let myself feel the world, but not be scarred by the world. Or even if the world scars me, it's like it doesn't get to dictate my path forward. Because to be sensitive and to feel the world is a beautiful thing. But to have those emotions overwhelm us and downplay us and dim us, that's not a good thing. And so there's a beautiful balance between embracing our sensitivity, embracing our compassion, embracing our beauty, and not being overwhelmed by it, and holding our strength and holding our power. And that's where the sword comes in, right? The discipline of the mind, the discipline of the connection. The sword is the only weapon within the tarot. And that's important. A lot of times we forget about that. We move towards a very pacifist way of being, which is fantastic. But the sword is, I know my mind and I know my voice. And that is my greatest tool and my greatest weapon in this world, to stand firm in my power of me. And it brings us then to the pentacles, to the seeds of abundance that have been planted within us, that we were, guided to live here on this earthly plane. It might not be, the mansion on the top of the hill with the fancy cars, but that's okay. It's security, it's beauty, it's stability, and it's moving forward in the power of us. And that is a huge thing. So we're going to see our wealth, our generational wealth, the way that we move forward in a way of seeing the world that is unique to us. We drink deeply of our emotions. We feel the world and am not overwhelmed by the world. And we see our power. So that is the wands, is our fire, the cups, our emotions, the sword is our keen mind, right? And the pentacles is our prosperity. And we start to see that. And we start to have it all come together. And we start to say, as above, so below. As I believe it, so it becomes. And it can take a while, to sculpt everything, to make everything just so. But with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, we're not here to watch everybody else live in prosperity and for us to feel like it's just one generational curse after another. It's just one more thing I have to take care of, I'm responsible for, or, this is just one more burden I have to carry. And I don't get to see my prosperity. I don't get to see my wealth. We are even going to see that every hardship, every pain, every disappointment sculpted us in such a way that we have a deeper, richer understanding of the world around us. And as we embrace that deeper, richer understanding of the world around us, we embrace a more prosperous, powerful way of being and moving forward in our tenacity. So we can start off this month with kind of being blue, really being a little bit down on ourselves, feeling like there's supposed to be something more, but we're fighting a transformation. And looking at everybody else and saying, wow, they're having such a great time. And I'm not. And you know what we are going to say? We need to say to that, well, now it's time to start to have some fun. And it doesn't matter if you're not doing anything big. It doesn't mean you have to spend a whole lot of money. Start having fun, start embracing your joy, and start laughing. This is a month to fill with laughter and with beauty, because you're claiming your power, and you're choosing wealth, you're choosing prosperity, you're choosing success. And there's going to be somebody here who doesn't want you to. There's going to be somebody who's like, a Debbie Downer, a naysayer, a person who's like, oh, you can't possibly be successful. This can even be a person from your past. And it's like, no, I am. Watch me. Be methodical, be steady, be, diligent, but you're embracing a success that is astounding. It moves us to our subconscious spirit message, which here is connection reverse. Now this is foxglove. Isn't foxglove used in making digitalis? Can have such a strong effect on the heart, right? And here, connection. We need to connect with our heart. But again, we can be mad at our emotions because we just feel too much. We connect too much. And we don't want it to be too much. We want it to be just right. But it takes some time to get that Goldilocks effect. So here, do not be afraid subconsciously to connect. Even though it's subconscious, we don't realize that we're afraid to connect. But it's going to be that sense of like keeping separate, keeping distant. And then we need to step into ourselves and say, no, I'm living fully in this moment, fully in this life, fully in this time. It moves us to our chakra energy, which is the heart chakra. I love this for you. It is play, embracing the heart chakra, letting ourselves play. Because remember, we as human beings, we don't play if we don't feel safe. So embracing play, embracing joy, filling our heart chakra is just going to be fantastic for us. Our energy to be mindful of. The 9 of Cups. Across your finger for a wish might not be granted, right? We might not see it come to fruition during this month, or we might see something fall apart and we'll be like, that's it. That's the sign. I'm not supposed to be, moving forward in success. Everybody else can be happy. I can't be. We can also want people to come to the table for us, to help us, to pull us forward in a certain way. And Spirit's like, no, you have to come to the table for you. And just because you didn't get that wish does not mean that something better isn't coming for you. Keeping your soul open, keeping your, receptivity to blessings open is going to be very powerful. And it moves us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the 8 of Cups. This is choosing you. This is walking away from something you once thought you would love and choosing you, Scorpio. And that's what you're doing during this time. You're looking at something that doesn't fit. This can be an ending as severe as a divorce that we're healing from, or that we're going through and we're still healing from. This can be an ending where it's like, I'm not choosing that mindset anymore. I'm not choosing that way of being, that way of looking at things. And it's a reprogramming of ourselves. It could be, going on an adventure, going on a holiday, taking a vacation, whatever it is. There's something here where it's like, I'm choosing me. And it can't even be, I'm choosing to do beautiful little things that absolutely embrace the joy of my life. And as I choose that, I choose my happiness. And I build my happiness by one little mundane act at a time, which builds a life of joy. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I think I already said that. Okay, so let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. And please note that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.